Yes guys, Jez here, back with another video. You've read the title. You can see that the daily candle today is actually breaking down, so we need to be evaluating all the different scenarios. You can see that we're actually dumping in towards support for Bitcoin, so we need to be looking at that exactly. You can see that Ethereum's actually broken out of its downward sloping support line, is actually retesting right now, so that's actually looking really good. We can see that the World Liberty Wallet actually bought $200 million worth of Ethereum today. We can see that that's still accumulating, so things are looking really good. Now for the short term, all the downside liquidity has been grabbed and we're now entering a weekend, so we need to be looking at price action and be going through all the data points. So before we get into all the content, make sure to smash up that like button. Let's try and get above 20 likes this video. That'll be absolutely insane. And with that being said, let's get straight away into this banger. Bow! And as you guys can see over here, that we've actually been consolidating within this ascending triangle pattern that I've been covering on the channel. We've actually hit this resistance point again today, and that is actually quite bullish as we're eating away at the wall, we're eating away at the liquidity, and there's more shorts actually piling up. So even if we do come down in towards the support and then around the 95.9k level over there, then on the next push, I do think that we're actually going to have a massive short squeeze, and we're going to have the fuel to actually push in towards the 120k mark at the top side over there. So you can see on this chart over here, we've actually been consolidating and trading within this range. And if we actually use the ruler to actually measure December's range that we're actually trading within, so you can see from the point that we entered the range to now is about 81 days. So this is very significant, as we're actually consolidating a lot more in towards this range, and there's a lot of days actually being counted every time we spend, and that just gears us up for a massive push. We can see last time that we consolidated in a very long range, this was an 8-month range, and the breakout was actually enormous. So that is the exact same thing we can actually be anticipating. If we manage to hold our support levels and we start actually moving higher, that's more likely to actually be a bit more of a bigger explosive move due to the massive consolidation that we've actually had. And if we actually look at our BBWP and our Bollinger Bands, and the BBWP just meaning the Bollinger Bands with percentile, you can see that it's at a very low point. It just indicates low volatility, and every time it actually ticks upwards, we actually get a very volatile move. It is direction neutral, so it can be to the downside, but I do think that it's likely to actually go to the upside. So comment down below what you think and which direction you're actually anticipating this breakout to actually go to. You can see over here that we're starting to lose this mid-range. Again, it's a bit early as we haven't actually confirmed the candle close, so this can be a wick and a massive bear trap. But again, if we can't actually reclaim 103.8k, I do think that it's likely we can come in towards a 99.1k level. And again, if we do come in towards this level and there is not enough demand to actually start pushing upwards, then I do think that we can actually trade all the ways to the downside and actually trade back in towards a 90k range. And at that point, we have to actually evaluate if it's likely we get a bounce or not. But again, I do think that us actually coming down again, it's just going to be a massive trap, and we will push higher just because of this consolidation. A lot of market participants are actually being flushed out. They're actually losing interest in the market, and one way to actually know that a lot of bulls are getting destroyed, they're getting uninterested and actually drowning out of the market, is the Bitcoin funding rates. You can see that the Bitcoin funding rates are actually negative on some exchanges. You can see that the Bitcoin funding rate is actually negative on Bybit and actually very low in general, and this just indicates that a lot of longs are not willing to actually take on leverage to actually amplify their position size and actually take a decision or a bet to the upside, which indicates that people are quite bearish and people are actually short in the market. You can see at the top over there, the long to short ratio is actually skewed towards the shorts for the 24-hour. So even in the shorter time frames, people are actually getting bearish, and we're actually consolidating just below all-time highs. And I've always said on my channel, if you do consolidate below your all-time high, this can be a bullish signal, because consolidation below your highs indicates acceptance above or below a level. And you can see if you're consolidating just below the highs, it indicates that this price is actually quite accepted. And if there's enough buyers to actually push price a little higher, all the shorters with liquidity up here is going to get grabbed, and we're likely to actually make new all-time highs and resume a massive uptrend on the higher time frames. Now, one reason I actually maintain my bullish bias is this sell the news event, this sell the news scenario that I've been covering on my channel for a long time. So if you want more on this, watch any of my previous videos. I've been covering it in massive detail. But again, we had a sell-off in towards the inauguration, and we had a run up where I was actually calling it from even over here, and we actually had a dip, and I was screaming on my channel, this is likely a massive trap, this is a bad dip opportunity. And I've actually got good feedback from a lot of you guys, so shout out to you guys, because you guys weren't trapped. You actually saw me actually call that one, and we actually moved to the upside. And then I called for a sell the news, and we've actually dumped exactly. And over here, my arrow points towards the point where I saw a massive bear trap on the Nvidia news, the DeepSeek news, and I said that it's likely we can get this bounce, and that's exactly what's happening. So of course, I do think that the probability for us to actually go higher is there. We just need to break above this resistance point with volume, test that as support, and actually that would help us to actually play out this ghost pattern that I've actually drawn over here. But again, we have to be confirming support levels with volume. It is likely we can come to the bottom of the range again and trade higher if we cannot break above this all-time high anytime now. So we have monthly close actually tomorrow, and well, actually the end of the day from the time of this recording. So we actually have monthly close and the new monthly open. So of course, this can be a massive trap because we have options expiry that I've been talking about, and a lot of option traders actually have their profit targets if we break the highs or if we actually lose the lows. And us trading within the mid-range here is a massive trap that can play out as manipulation, where the options that would make money if we go higher actually lose out, the options that will make money to the downside actually lose out, and the majority of people actually were looking for a massive move. However, we're just trading within the range and trading within the mid-range here, which is just a massive trap, and they actually lose out on their potential opportunity to make money on the options. So of course, this was expected. I was calling for this over here. I was telling you guys that it's likely that we can trade within the mid-range to the end of the month, and in the new month we can actually start to break towards the upside. Now we can look in towards this consolidation pattern over here where we have a little bit of a symmetrical triangle. So if we can find some support here, then we can maybe reclaim this level, and this will be a deviation. Then we can actually trade within this range quarter, which is a premium zone, and then you want to see acceptance above this level, and then that's where you're actually looking for price to actually start marking up to the upside. So if you're enjoying the analysis and you want to be trading for yourself, make sure to be checking this account on X called 𝗚𝗥𝗔𝗦𝗦 Trading. This is my personal trading community with another analyst called Spill. So I'll be following him on Twitter as well with post notifications on. But you can see on this channel here that we have all the analysis that we have for day-to-day trades. Of course, the analysis that I mentioned on this channel over here is kind of medium term to high time frame. So you definitely want to be tapping into these killer entries that we're getting in the group, and you can be making a lot of money on the side as well, especially for altcoin season coming up. And you can see that we follow most of our students over here, so message any of them to be getting an insight on how they're finding it in the group. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to be getting involved, make sure to be messaging this account. We'll get back to you and we'll see if you're actually fit for the group, as it is a exclusive group where we only take serious people. But definitely be checking this out on Twitter. So for the longer time frame, you can see we're forming this massive bullish megaphone. This is actually looking really good as we're testing support on the higher time frame. So this consolidation is actually a massive trap in my opinion. I do think that this is just a consolidation. This is just the price action that you will have before a massive explosion. You can see on the fractal over here to the right hand side the picture of a bullish megaphone. This is looking identical, so this is looking really good. We're having that massive consolidation right before you have a massive pump to the upside, and yeah, I think this is something to be monitoring. And you can see this cup and handle fractal I've been talking about for a long time on any video you can watch in the past. We're actually playing out nicely. We had that macro higher low, and this is the time to be looking for expansion. So on the weekly time frame, I want to start seeing price action going higher. This is the 5-day time frame, but of course I do look at this fractal too on a weekly, and you want to see price action actually start to form higher highs, higher lows. You want to see a lot of wicks to the upside, indicating bulls trying to push price higher. Now if you look at the higher time frames and you look at the Bitcoin cycles, this fractal suggests that this is the time for the altcoins to actually go parabolic whilst Bitcoin actually starts moving up too, and that actually coincides with your Bitcoin dominance actually tanking. So you can see on this fractal on the left hand side is the 2021 fractal where we had the Bitcoin dominance coming down. On the right hand side, this is the 2025 fractal that we have now. And if we get the same move, so price action is looking the same, we're actually retesting this upward sloping trend line after losing it. So this can be resistance where we actually come down. So this is where you want to see massive moves down in the Bitcoin dominance, which provides a lot of altcoin opportunities. And if your Bitcoin dominance goes parabolic, you can bet that Ethereum will actually start moving a lot higher. So this is a massive falling wedge that we're actually broken out of. We're testing as support. So we want to see a lot of closing candles above yesterday's low, and we don't want to lose that level, because if we lose that level, this can be a massive trap, and we can actually grab a bit more liquidity before actually rocketing to the upside. So of course, we want to see price action above this level in and around the 3.3k level for Ethereum to actually remain bullish. But this is a nice falling wedge reversal signal where we can actually start to play out this inverse head and shoulders I've been covering a lot on my channel. And if we break this 4k mark, it's likely we can actually start going to that 7k mark all the way to the upside over there. And people might see this fractal and actually think that this is not possible, but just remember this, I do think that this is likely. This is similar to when I was calling BTC to actually hit 120k when it was at 58k. it seemed impossible. It seemed like it was not going to happen. But in my opinion, I was just calling for a massive move upwards. You can see that this was the factor that I was looking at. And you can see I've actually quoted myself because this was what Bitcoin was looking like before. You can see that we hadn't broken out yet. And I was calling for the massive cup and handle to actually play out. And you can see that's exactly playing out right now. And as for Ethereum, if we actually start breaking this falling wedge first, and then we break the neckline, and we have a lot of closing candles with volume, it's possible we can actually move all the way in towards the 7K mark. Since there's a lot of shorters, there's a lot of people bearish on Ethereum. Have your institutions actually bidding Ethereum a lot. You can see that the World Liberty just today is actually bought $200 million worth of Ethereum. So it is likely that we can have a massive move, as the majority tend to be wrong, and your institutions always tend to profit a lot of the time. So you want to be on the side of the institutions. You want to be making the right moves. And I do think that this is likely. But again, bulls do have a lot of work to do, because first of all, you need to actually break out of this falling wedge. Breaking out of this falling wedge, you need to break out of the neckline first, confirm this inverse head and shoulder reversal pattern, and then we can start to talk about 7K, 5K, and 6K, things like that. But of course, we have to focus on this 4K resistance here, because it's possible we can come reject one more time before actually going higher. So that's something to be watching for. This is just speculation, and we need to be looking at the facts when it comes to making these decisions. This is just my opinion, of course. So NFA, do your own research. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing on the market. So if you're enjoying the video and you want to be trading yourself, make sure to click that first link down below. And when you click that first link down below, it's going to take you to this page over here, which is the page for Blofin. Now, Blofin are offering to my community a massive sign-up bonus of $5,000 US. So make sure to be taking advantage of that. And I definitely do recommend Blofin. They're one of the best exchanges out there. They're actually growing really quickly due to them having extremely low maker fees. They also have Fireblocks, which is an amazing feature where they have a third-party custodian to make sure that your funds are more secure. So definitely be signing up for Blofin if you want to be taking advantage of some of the opportunities I've been talking about and you agree with my opinion. And make sure to be checking if it's available in your country, definitely. And if it's available in your country, it's an amazing exchange with no KYC. So it's easy to sign up and be trading straight away. But yeah, definitely check if it's available in your country. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't want to use Blofin, maybe you want to go for an even bigger deposit bonus, you can click the second link down below for KCEX, which they offer a massive $9,000 in bonuses. So when you click that second link down below, it will take you to this page over here for KCEX, and you can see they have 0 fees for trading as well, and they also have 0 withdrawal fees actually for all change, which is absolutely amazing. And if you want to be getting an instant $20 bonus as well, you can actually sign up for the third link down below for MEXC over here. So when you deposit $100, they're going to top it up and give you $200 in trading bonuses over there. And when you click that third link down below, it will take you to this page over here. And you can see the MEXC are one of the best exchanges too. They've been around for a long time. They're really reliable. And of course, they have a lot of coins that you can't access on other exchanges, as they list the coins first all the time. So if you like your altcoins, you like these really low fees, and you want to be taking advantage of that $20 bonus you get when you deposit $100, I definitely recommend you use that third link down below for MEXC. Now, for the altcoin season indicator, you can see we're bouncing from this mid-range I've been talking about on Twitter for ages now. And you can see that consolidation was bullish. It was time to actually allocate in towards the market. And I think that this is definitely not the time to be getting bearish on your altcoins. This is the time to be actually getting your last buys in, because a lot of the altcoins, especially the meme coins, are range lows, and I think the opportunities are actually incredible. So let me know in the comments what coins you want me to be charting tomorrow, and I'll actually chart the top 3 coins that I see. And yeah, I do think that a lot of these coins are actually discounted, especially Ethereum being the biggest altcoin, of course. But again, there's a lot of altcoins on the table. There's lots of opportunities. So always keep an open mindset. You always want to be looking for the opportunities. And I do think that the altcoin season indicator, when it gets to the 75 mark, it will be too late to be getting into your altcoins. You can see every time you breach that level, you spent a limited time in there. A lot of the time you get to the 75 mark and you just reverse. Sometimes you can see the 2021 bull market, you actually spent a bit of time there, which was fair enough. But it was no more than 6 months. It was about 4. So again, you just want to be in the position to be taking the risks now to get into your altcoins, because by the time you get into 75 region for the altcoin indicator here, then you could bet that your time is definitely running out to be taking profit on your altcoins. So that'll be it from me, guys. Make sure to be following me on Twitter to be keeping up on consistent updates over here. You can see I'm consistently posting on Twitter here. I even posted the altcoin index that I was talking about, and I posted a nice thing there where I said if you're waiting on the sidelines, you're gonna see what happens when we do bounce. But of course, this was where you could have got the information early and all the factors that I covered today. So definitely follow me on Twitter with post notifications on to be getting the information in good time. And yeah, that'll be it from me, guys. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye bye.